All right. Another week, another Centre Circle podcast. What episode, Keith?
77.
77.
I was about to say that.
You got myself, John here. Here with Binz, here with Keith. How you guys doing?
Yeah.
I'm good. Had a good game yesterday,
I'm
so I'm a bit
very well.
happy. You know?
Very well.
Don't worry, we'll hear about that. You shut up over there, but you're very well. And today we got a very special guest, good friend of mine, Gabs. How you doing?
All good, bro.
Last week I had my other friend Kieran here. He was a Spurs fan, which is pretty bad. And then now today we've got a Man United fan,
Hey.
which it's just gonna be fun. It's good times. It's gonna be fun. So yeah, we're gonna run through the weekend's games. We're gonna talk about the what's the word? Drubbing. Spurs drubbing of Villa today. Maddison was on the bench. Arsenal's lost to Newcastle. Liverpool's late win. Look at him, he can't even hurt that. Forest pile on the pain on Lopetegui down at West Ham. And Manchester United's draw today with Chelsea, which I didn't see coming, if I'm honest. Of course, we've got the news that Ineos finally listened to me.
And everyone else in the world.
But relax, man. What's wrong with you? Finally, he did the words of the Centre Circle podcast and let Ten Hag find employment elsewhere. And now we've got Amorim in, who's highly regarded in world football. So we'll have a quick chat about that. We'll run through the rest of the results. And the FA looks like they're trying to do a little bit of something about fixture congestion. But they're draining money out of clubs' pockets. And the person who put it on the agenda is going to paint himself as a hypocrite today, but we'll talk about that later. Keith,
Firing shots at me today.
I'm just letting the listeners know, innit? What's going on?
One defeat and it's getting spicy.
So first things first, Tottenham Hotspur 4, Aston Villa 1. I didn't see this coming.
Nor did I, to be fair.
I was hoping to come in and talk about how Ange Ball still isn't working. Thought Villa were going to turn up and dish out some dirt.
Yeah, same. But I think he listened to me and
And the rest of the football community.
and dropped Madison. And even though they went behind, they just looked a little bit more fluid.
Yeah, that Rodgers goal was against the run of play though, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Really?
And Vicario had a bit of a stink on the corner as well. So, you giving him some slack?
I'll give you some slack only because they didn't put a play on him. See, when you watch the replay, got a defender in front of Rodgers, he's ball watching. Defender behind. Rodgers is armsing up the keeper. You're supposed to send a defender there to help him out.
Yeah.
So then when he's kind of got rid of Rodgers, the ball's come out of that defender who should have been on Rodgers is in his eye line. So he's seen that last minute. Yes, he's flapped at it a little bit. And then Rodgers is there. But if someone was there protecting him, he'd either would have seen the ball earlier or Rodgers wouldn't have had a tap in 2 yards from goal. That's the only reason I give him a little bit of... I saw him and I just thought, has no one learned anything from Ben White?
But isn't that his job to tell the defence to take him off me?
Yeah, fair.
And for me, I looked at it and I was like, he just dropped to the ground. It wasn't even a flat. He just dropped to the ground. Like, you know when keepers can't save penalties and they just dropped it. Oh, someone's going to kick it down the middle, so I was just going to drop on the floor in the middle. And that's what it was for me. I think Vicario's been kind of found out, hasn't he? Like, he's not the levels that everyone thought he was going to be or that they were kind of hyping him about when he came in last season.
Yeah.
And I just thought, that's your job to say, take him off me, grab your defender, drag. You see other goalkeepers dragging the defender, you take him. And he didn't do that. He was a leader in that box.
Yeah, fair. To your point, obviously they started with a midfield of Kulusevski, Pape Sarr, and then Bentancur. And then front three of Heung-min Son, Dominic Solanke, and Brennan Johnson. So, look, do you think, did you watch the game?
I caught the second half.
Yeah, so I caught some highlights, and whilst I don't think it was solely down to that, I think you're right, they were better protected. Midfield was a little bit less open. And also, Song being back makes a big deal. And after being 1-0 down, the cross he puts in left-footed for Brennan Johnson. They were queuing up, but if he didn't get it, Solanke probably would have got it. But I think having him back is also a big factor. Maddison may even argue it's also a factor as well because that's another person of quality, to progress to play forward, etc., etc. And then Solanke turns up, doesn't he? Turns up.
First goal was good.
Yeah, nice chip finish. I'm not gonna say he's looking like he's worth the money, but
I think for me, it's early stages, isn't it, to judge him on but I think you've seen signs of what he can bring in terms of the runs, chances on goal, etc. So he's had some shots on goal, near misses based on just not hitting it right, and it's gone to the keeper or just gone wide. But I think you can see
he's playing with confidence.
Yeah, and I think it's growing. And that finish yesterday, today was quality.
Yeah,
but before then, I thought the game was slow.
Yeah.
I think Villa was just kind of, all right, we're going to play at this pace because they're managing themselves for the Champions League football. I think that came into it a little bit. And when they scored, you saw Villa step up the intensity, but it just was too late. I think it was just a bit too late and they couldn't match that tempo.
So you think there was a 1 hour in the Champions League? I'm looking at the lineup. It was a pretty strong team.
Yeah.
Pretty much his first, probably his strongest 11, I would say.
But not in terms of the 11, in terms of how they approach the game, how they play the game.
Yeah.
And I think they tried to play it, well, we're a better team overall. We can play at 60% or 70%. And I think that's what found them out today.
I'll tell you what, it's always nice to see lots of goals flying past
Martin.
Martinez.
Yeah.
I can't stand that guy. But yeah, Solanke scores 2 in 4 minutes. Second goal, again, another good move. Richarlison with the assist. Solanke has a tap in. And then the much maligned James Maddison turns up with a nice free kick in the 96th minute. Almost a good day in the office for everyone.
Yeah.
Essentially. Villa, again, they've been on a bit of a run. I mean, it's a bad result, but I don't think there's anything symptomatic here, is it? They've been pretty strong. They're going to lose at some point.
I think with the Champions League, as Aiden alluded to, they've got a kind of, it's like load management, isn't it? Because they've got a really good first 11. Their squad's not massively extensive, so you've got like Duran to come off the bench.
Yeah.
We all know how he can do. But going back to like Newcastle last season, it's hard to, when you haven't been in the top European competition for so long.
They spend money though, Keith. I mean, the bench is not thin like Newcastle's, no disrespect. But you got Tyrone Mings on the bench, England international. You got Maatson on the bench.
Yeah.
You got Buendia. I know he hasn't turned out he was meant to be, but this is the
I think
Bailey's there.
The drop off is there. So go on again.
No. I was just saying, yeah, they've got the players, but it's how that translates. You could have a good squad on paper.
Yeah.
How they turn up on the day and perform is a major difference.
Yeah, true.
Saying Mings is a bit mad.
Get him out of here.
Mings is
he's been in a longer injury layoff. He's not my cup of tea, but I'm not gonna dismiss him out of hand, bro. He's a Premiership defender.
Okay, I think.
Man said okay.
I think today though, but
I mean,
yeah, I think it's just football's moved forward to a level, and I think Mings now is not that level. But I think they should have used Buendia today. Buendia, how do you say his name?
I say Buendia.
Yeah, I think they should have used him today. I think a bit of creativity, someone who's got like a comfortable on the ball under pressure. They missed Ross Barkley, who had a knock.
Yeah.
That was another. I think if Ross Barkley he would have came on a lot earlier
last week, didn't he?
And kept the ball ticking. I think they missed that a little bit today. And then I think maybe one shoot, but how it goes.
I think they'll have a few of these results throughout the season. Just the way they've got to juggle the Champions League until January when the league phase is over, and then just take it from there. So I don't think they can be too disheartened. Like until kind of 2 seasons ago, or 18 months ago when Emery came in, Tottenham were on paper better than Villa. Yeah. So it's not the worst result. So.
It's not, but again, we've talked about this a couple of times. Right? It's early in the season, but these games matter. So if Tottenham lose that, they drift further away from Villa, right? That win brings them within 2 points of Villa now. Spurs have got a superior goal difference as well, actually. So it's not an insignificant win from a Villa point of view, from a Spurs point of view. I always find Postecoglou interesting because he was real warm and friendly after this game. You know, when he loses, he can be a bit grumpy.
Yeah.
He can be a bit grumpy. So he was like, "Oh, we've got 2 or 3 gears to go." They always fall in the trap, bruv. Always. It's been one game, relax. But yeah, good win for Spurs. I think that was needed. It'd be interesting to see how the Maddison thing plays out. He could just be out of form. And that's it.
Yeah.
Or actually, for what Ange wants to do, system wants to play, formation wants to play, it might be proof that it's him or Kulusevski, basically.
And Kulusevski, you can't drop him in a minute. Like,
Yeah,
he's
exactly.
playing out of his skin.
Yeah.
So,
And without the ball, he's got
Well,
the power, he's got the strength, all that kind of stuff, which Maddison can't match.
I think the other thing for Spurs, I think their midfield, they haven't got the right mixed balance, right?
Yeah.
Like, they keep on chopping and changing. So, like, it's Sarr and Bentancur or it's Basuma and, like, or Maddison. That seems to be the issue. I think the system's fine, actually. I don't think the system's that bad. I think maybe it's a tweak here and there. But actually, it's more of the personnel that he has for the system that
Find your pair that works.
find your pair, and that's all over the pitch. That's not even just actually midfield. That's kind of the front three and etc. You know, the front three and then the centre back. Well, the centre backs are not going to get any better.
Bruv, what's wrong with you?
I just, you know,
the Spurs centre backs.
yeah, the Spurs centre backs are
Yeah,
not going to get. But then their fullbacks are good. I think their fullbacks are good. So I think it's more of a personnel thing. What's stopping Spurs from being a real contenders for top 4 for the full spot?
Timo Werner,
That's what I'm saying. So,
Charlison.
but that's what I'm saying. Like,
The list goes on.
but that's what I'm saying. It's personnel.
Yeah.
What's stopping him? That I think the system's actually quite
Works.
decent. It works. But
How
yeah,
long has Ange been in now? This is his second full season.
second.
yeah.
He did a full season last year.
Yeah.
Yeah, you need a few windows to clear. I mean, Ben Davies was on the bench today. Again,
Yeah,
no
to come
disrespect to Ben
centre-back.
Davies, but yo,
Yeah.
I mean, so there's still time to chip away the squad. All right, well done to Spurs, he says, through gritted teeth. Moving on. Newcastle 1. Arsenal 0. Go on, Keith. I know you saw this game.
No, you lot were quiet in the group chat yesterday, so here's the time.
This is what we're doing. I'll be honest. I only saw the highlights.
Oh wait,
because
you both Arsenal fans?
Yeah.
Okay.
I only saw the highlights because I was too busy winning 4-1 for my vets team and setting up an assist with a back heel.
It was a 12:30 kickoff. Though.
Yeah, but we had to get there for 1. We got to warm up extensively now. We're old now, you know. We can't be doing the little 30-minute warm ups now. We've got to get there in a good hour and a half before. So
Shall I just throw my two pence in there?
More like £5. We're gone.
No. I said it before. I don't think your squad is good enough to sustain injuries that you've had. And like I said, you've been very lucky over the last 2 seasons to be able to play the core 8 or 9 players week in,
Not 2 seasons.
week
The
out.
season before,
Okay,
Saliba was gone. Remember?
for one player for a few games, but okay,
Saliba-
okay,
I know, the season
okay,
before last, Saliba was gone for months.
okay. Let's do last season.
Yeah.
Last season, you were able to play the core 8 or 9 players for the majority of the season.
Mhm.
And I always said, if it came to a point where you had injuries or things didn't go right, how would Arteta be able to adapt to not having those core players to rely on? And we're seeing it now, where you've been. It's not even a really injury crisis, but your team's been a bit disjointed in personnel, and it's like he doesn't know how to adjust his formation or personnel, as Aiden just said.
I think he has
to get
adjusted
over
the
the line.
formation though. But he has adjusted the formation.
Yeah.
But it's not to the benefit of the team, or it's not to the strength of the team. So
Okay.
he's decided to.
I don't even know if I agree with that.
But this is why I see what I'm saying, or why I'm saying this is because he's moved Havertz kind of between this kind of 9 and false 9, him and Trossard swapping. So it's kind of effectively gone a 4-4-2 rather than saying, actually, Trossard, you're going to be the creative, what Odegaard was, but you're just going to play it slightly different. So then as a result now, we lost that kind of strength or the attributes that Havertz brings to us in terms of being a lead man, the target man, and linking up play. And then he's kind of gone very more defensive. So he's opted for when he can do Rice, Partey, Marino, and then because of slight injuries. So we lost that a little bit of creativity, a little bit of flair, a bit of kind of forward-thinking players. We haven't got as many forward-thinking players on the pitch right now. And I think that's his fault where you can look to the bench. He's got Sterling, Ranieri, and Jesus. So he's got 3 players that can actually come in, and he said, all right, I'm going to go a bit more conservative and play this kind of 2 false nines. And I think that's what's letting us down more than anything. But he has tweaked the formation, and then we can look at a couple of the sending off and all that, etc. I personally don't feel the injury's been as damning as people are making out to be. I think it's been more down to Arteta.
Because that same injury ravaged his team that took his team to task last week. It wasn't an issue then. I don't think it is. I also think if you look at what Odegaard is to us, right? Any team in the league suffers. By the way. Yeah. Any team in the suffers by missing him. Man City have suffered from missing KDB. You would suffer if Salah was out for that period of time. So I don't think it's about the squad is good enough or not. If you're someone that's in a seat to challenge for the Premier League, you are going to have 1, maybe 2, if you're City, 5 players that are irreplaceable. They're kind of in their own stratosphere. And I'm not saying they're irreplaceable because no one else is good at them. I'm saying irreplaceable because they're not obtainable. Do you know what I mean? You lose Odegaard, you don't just go and buy whoever's there because he's already at a team that, you lose Salah, you're not just going to go and pick up Mbappe or whatever, right?
But should you be so dependent on Odegaard? Like, I hear everyone gets the injuries, blah, blah, but it's like, well, if Odegaard was playing, this would have happened.
I'm not saying that.
But, no, I'm not saying you, but I'm saying like that's a narrative that has been spouted. Like, oh, if we had Odegaard, things would be different. Like,
I think it's fair.
That's anyone though.
Yeah, but I think that's fair. He's a difference maker. It's not like, I'll give an example. If we lost Marino, for example, fine, Partey's there. Or you lose Partey, Jorginho's there. Now, I'm not saying the levels don't drop, but the role they need to play and the way they need to play it,
it's not.
It differs slightly, but it's not
a significant drop.
Yeah. What the job he does, nobody else in our squad can do it, and I don't think we would be able to replace him. And I think even he's been out from however long in the season, we've been winning. We've won games, right? So he's found other ways to win. I think it's a performance level thing. I don't think it's an injury thing. I don't think Arsenal are not getting the results because of injuries. I think they're not getting because they're not playing well. And I don't think Arteta is making. I think some of his traits are now coming back to bite.
Traits or decisions?
Both.
Okay.
So, but he's got this thing. Again, I don't know. He doesn't like to make changes until very late in games.
Made him early yesterday. Made him a lot earlier yesterday.
You had no choice?
Yeah.
We were playing like we were on 50% battery.
But then how we play, we continue playing the same way.
Yeah.
And then when you see the data, we barely went through the middle yesterday.
Yeah.
It was just all down the side, and obviously predominantly the right.
I think he's a rich man's ETH.
Ooh, that's hard. Ooh.
I think he's been found out.
No, he came here to pod.
No, I'm being serious. No. I think he's been found. Do you know why? I think if you look at how Newcastle played, they had the tactics right.
Yeah.
Their whole game plan was box out Saka.
Yeah.
And they boxed him out wicked. Like, if you watch that, they had 2 men on him all time.
Yeah, minimum.
Which all teams do.
Sometimes 3, like one man just roaming. And I'm like, do you know how mad that is to dedicate 3 men to one player? But if we get this man out the game, we've won it. Their tactics were like, they were Pep Guardiola level tactics. The tactics won them the game. They knew, freeze out Saka, we win. Forget all the other men on the pitch.
Performance, though? It was still poor. Because people do that all the time, but the performance allows you. I'm not saying we would have won, but at least allows you to give Newcastle a decent game. They wouldn't even do that.
I think that's down to the manager.
Yeah.
And why I say it
partially.
All right, let's look at Man United under Ruud van Nistelrooy.
Yeah.
Same players that were playing crap 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
But they look revived right now.
New manager bounce.
Dead cat bounce. I get that.
Yeah.
But Casemiro's balling right now.
Yeah.
Casemiro under ETH wasn't the same Casemiro. I think it's the decision. They've got a freedom now to play under Ruud van Nistelrooy. And sometimes I look at Arteta and I don't know what he's doing.
No,
Just
I know
being
what he's
honest. Sometimes I don't know.
So when you say you don't know what he's doing, do you mean as in why are you not taking action or why are you not taking a different decision? Because the way he wants to play is very clear.
Yeah.
And even the way he's built the squad, I understand what he's doing in the long term. So I think I said in one of the groups the other day, in the summer, if he spends 1 penny on the defender, I will go and find him myself. We've done that. We're
we
good.
don't need defenders.
Yeah. So he's building that way, fine. But when you say you don't know what he's doing, is that in terms of, lack of decision, lack of action?
Yeah.
Fine. I agree sometimes. Yeah.
I think trying to make critical decisions when there's a few minutes left in the game, to me,
I've never understood it.
You're not gonna win it.
Wenger used to do the same.
Yeah.
I don't understand.
You're not gonna win it. It's too little, too late.
And I think as well, where you've had that core, they could go out on the pitch week in, week out, and they know what they got to do. Yeah. Where the instructions are a little bit different now.
Yeah. It's got new players, Marino, etc.
Yeah. It just, you can see their brains working more, if that makes sense. Where before, last season, it was natural. Go out there, this is what everyone's got to do. Everyone knows their roles. Yeah. It's like the roles are not as clearly defined now with all these tweaks, if that makes sense.
And I think that's what John was echoing, like when Odegaard's come out, that it just changes everyone's roles because you're playing a certain way. But any team, you're going to have your kingpin player whoever it goes through them or they're the main guy. So for Liverpool, it will be Salah, Trent, and most probably Gravenberch now. Yeah, and VVD. You're going to go through them and you set up a certain way to go through them. Just like Man City, it's going to be Haaland, KDB.
Like
you're playing a certain way.
As an example, if you let's say, touch wood is not the case, but let's say Salah was out injured for 3 months like Odegaard, and then for whatever reason, you got to play 1 or 2 games without VVD. I'm still expecting you to be able to win most games. Yeah. But I won't be surprised if I watch the game and it's looking a little bit higgy.
Like, it's changed.
Yeah. It happened last season.
Couple chances ain't chances like they do.
Impact. Yeah, but it just seems like the plan B hasn't been worked on enough. Yeah. If that makes sense.
Bruv, you want my honest thing about this?
Go on.
Bruv, everyone tells us Arteta's very meticulous, yeah? He's very meticulous.
Who's everyone?
The people in the game, right? People in the game that have worked with him, etc. I think plan B, plan C, plan D, plan E is all there. It's in the iPad. You know, understand? All of that. He just don't want to use it. The decision as to when to use it, when to change it, is up to him. I'll be the kind of training it's very, very meticulous. And I don't think he wants to use it. And I know people are clamoring for Ranieri. Again, I'm not saying he should start every game. The guy's 17, his first Premier League season. But I think if you use him more than you're using him now, could it be worse? What is the risk to using him? Is he going to lose the ball in an important area? I think we could do with some of his inventiveness. He showed some of that in the week. Yeah. The Trossard, he does my head in, man. He does my head in.
There's fans that clamour for Trossard to start. He's got to start. He should be starting. And now he's starting back. There's certain players that are just meant to come on as a sub. Because when they're on the bench and they're looking at the game, they see pockets and holes for when I come on, that's the position I'm going to pick up.
This is where I'm going to exploit.
This is where I'm going to... And that works for him. I'm going to exploit this gap. Him starting sometimes, he hasn't got the physical strength in terms of very good technically, but physically, he drops off on levels. Yeah. You know what I mean? He just running up and down and in physical one-on-one duels with players. So like you said, Ranieri, personally, I would say, give Jesus a little go in that little pocket and let him run around. Because he's physically good on the ball. He's got an eye for passing. He's creative when he's ready.
And he's better. He gives the ball to someone else to finish. Yeah. So someone give him the ball to finish.
However, but I think we have exercised plan B, and the plan B was the double false 9. That's what it looks like.
Sorry, but I guess for me, plan B is what do you do when you're starting 11?
Yeah,
the game is the plan you started the game with. Maybe isn't as effective, or the other team have sussed you out, or whatever it is. But I think just to add to your Trossard point, I think my main thing with him is he can't. This is just me looking at eye test. He can't keep that level of execution up for 90 minutes.
Yeah,
like when he comes on as a sub, bruv, he will have one chance, one shot, bottom corner. Like his level of execution is crazy. But I just feel like when he starts a game, he doesn't have the same consistency with that execution. Simple passes, he'll be misplacing, he'll be doing mad things, and I just watch it. But I'm a fan in it. I just say stuff in my head like, this is why you don't start, bro. That's my immediate response. Like, when everyone's here, this is why you don't start. So don't be giving it them steely face celebrations when you score, because this is why you don't start. And don't start. We need a whole episode for Martinelli.
Yeah.
We need a whole pod for Martinelli. Because he is my favourite word. But he's stale now, bro.
Yeah.
He got pocketed Absolutely pocket. But Livramento is almost like you're a one-trick pony.
Yeah.
And when you look at it, what's one of Saka's greatest strengths everyone talks about? He can go both directions.
Yeah.
Same, any other great winger, Salah, he can go cutting on his left or he could go to the right. Martinelli, just 90% of the time,
back in.
I know what you're doing, bruv.
Yeah.
I 100% know what you're doing. And if you're going to do something different, he signposts it so far ahead. So he's not a problem anymore for that right back. So he's great without the ball, he's great defensively, he's great for the structure. But, and this is what I mean, Arteta's got his structure, the way he plays, that's working great. The back four of centre-backs, all the way through. And if I do it long enough and everyone does what it's supposed to do, it will work. Okay, mate, 65 minutes in, it's not working. Please do something.
Yeah.
Please.
I think it was. There's a couple of things I wanted to touch on as well. What's the word I'm looking for about fans? They're very forgetful.
Yeah. 100%.
And the reason why I was going to say short-term memory, very forgetful about what Ben White brings to the team in terms of balance.
Yeah.
And we missed him yesterday as that overlapping.
Yeah, why didn't he start?
Load management. I don't know. So.
You got to see him in a week, right?
Someone we know said he was surplus
Yeah.
to the Arsenal team now.
Yeah.
Oh, dude.
I'll tell you.
Yeah. I never said that.
I can say you. Someone you know.
But it's interesting since he's been since he's had a couple knocks and he was out for a little bit, and this rotation between him, Timber, and Calafiori. How many clean sheets have we been keeping?
Yeah, no, it's true.
When he was in that back line, when he was on the right, Timber was left back. We started off well, right? We kept a couple clean sheets, etc. Then he had his little injury thing. 1, 2. No one's not going to say it, but I felt Saliba should have dealt with Isak's goal yesterday.
Oh, but I was about to say, he said it himself.
Big time.
He said it himself.
Big
and that's
time.
what I like about him, you know? He said it himself. He said, listen, how I played yesterday, that's not the standard.
Yeah.
He said, I have to get back to good standard. It was his fault. I think it was his fault.
Because that was...
But then one of our friends tried to blame Party.
Yeah. Tried to blame Party for the header. Anyway, that's nonsense. The cross came in. Gabriel, for me, was in the right position. He's in that zonal position. If it falls short, I can clear it.
Yeah.
Saliba can see my man's dropped off into that hole.
Yeah.
I need to come across and challenge him. One thing I do give Saliba, because I don't like the comparison between him and VVD.
Okay.
And the reason why I'm saying that, it's relevant, but it's not relevant. Or it's unfair, should I say. Because VVD's journey to where he is a lot more extensive. So what I mean by that is, started in Ireland, went to Scottish League, played in the Scottish League, played some Champions League football first as well, then Southampton, then Liverpool.
Yeah.
And I think people forget that. People go, but he went on loan at 2, but the same league. It's not different leagues, different physicalities, different competition. It was the same French league. Do you understand? So other than that, I think Saliba needs to be, because he should have came across and challenged for the header. I'm not saying it wouldn't have went in, but at least be near him to challenge. But that cross by Gordon.
First time.
Laser.
Whip.
Absolute laser.
Yeah. And it's mad, like Newcastle, they'll give you these performances, innit? Last week, rubbish.
Yeah. No, but you know
this
what?
Week,
you know what I know about Newcastle?
balling out. Like,
you know what it reminded me of? You know when Arsenal used to go to Bolton and get rough up?
Yeah.
Bro, I told you last week, innit? That midfield is just basically like
muscles,
light heavyweight.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Super middleweight and whatever, and it just they were moving. They were just pushing it, and the only person that really coped with it properly, obviously, were the bigger lads, you know, Declan Rice, Havertz, whatever. But it was just so poor. It's like so basic. These are kind of things that one of the things that Arteta has done well is that stuff doesn't phase us. The ball does the work. But when the performances drop the way they do, it's not enough, man. So yeah, fair play to Newcastle. You know, again, the goal was good, but defensively very elementary.
Yeah.
And we're supposed to have one of the best defenses in the league. But again, I'm not going to panic. It's 10 games in. I do think it's interesting for Arteta. It's very interesting for Arteta for different reasons to what you said. But you're right. He has different things to contend with. He spent a lot of money.
Yeah.
I think people talking about the squad, I said it last week, I still think the difference between us and the other title contenders is Liverpool have at least 2 world-class players. At least 2, if not 3. Trent, VVD, Salah. You would argue there are other people who are approaching it, but they've got 3. I think we've only got 2.
Saka, Saliba.
No.
Oh, Saka, Odegaard, sorry.
Saka, Odegaard. Nah, I'll probably say 3. Saka's...
I think Saliba's approaching.
I think
he's approaching.
And if we say Saliba's approaching, I think Gabriel's been better than him.
Yeah.
Actually.
You have to say that.
Yeah.
You know, so
Got more than Liverpool.
And I think the balance,
They got about 4.
I think the balance of that quality is heavily weighted towards our defense. That's the other challenge as well. Do you know what I mean? Trent is basically an attacker, bro. Basically. You know? So if you take out Saka, if you take out Odegaard, most of our world-beating capability is in defense.
But whose fault is that?
No, I agree. Yeah, I agree, 100%. I agree. That's a Edu Arteta thing,
Yeah.
right? And it'll be interesting to see what moves are made in January and in the summer. But for this season, in terms of winning, because you knew you wanted to win the title this year, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're building on a base of defense. I get that, but you knew what Jesus could give you.
Yeah. That's my only issue.
Yeah,
like he's had enough time to build his squad. I'll be honest, as a United fan, and I hate to say this, I wanted Arsenal to win this season.
Yeah, it'll just make a difference.
I don't know. I just don't know. I don't know. I don't know if Arteta can take it all the way.
I think we could. I'm just not sure that. I tipped us to win it, right? And I'm not gonna change from that. But if you ask me on the 20th of December, I might give you a different answer still.
Yeah.
Do you think next week's game against Chelsea, if you don't win it, so like even if you draw, and let's say Liverpool, Man City win, do you think that's too much of a gap at this point?
It's a long way to go because we've seen bigger deficits close. Because we're you lot 8 points ahead of us last season.
Yeah, I think
Liverpool were at the stage. Yeah,
it's
a good question. I think. Go on. You answer first.
It's a hard one because like you can turn it around and like you said, it's just Odegaard to come back and then Havertz being the 9 again, and then the feel good factor comes back in, and then we go on a run. But I think this year we'd have seen. It's not even the top. The other teams have stepped up a little bit.
Yeah,
like the Bournemouths have stepped up. Just that marginal step up.
So the points could be.
I think
a bit more
is going to be spread out. I think so. Nottingham Forest is becoming difficult now. You know, where before that was an easy win. Nottingham Forest has got.
So it was almost a banker.
It's a banker, like now. So there's a few of those teams, and then you got the wild cards such as Tottenham, Chelsea, Villa that we don't know.
How they're going to show up on the day.
And then now we've got United. We've got to think about United, what that looks like, and we're going to discuss that later. But it's not going to be the high 90 mark, or I think it's going to be like low 80s that wins the league this season.
Yeah. I think to answer your question, I think history tells us, so slightly political answer, I think history tells us that, at that point, you'll have from path, you get your players back. Oh, Arsenal never lost a game in 15 games, all of that. But you'll still end up second in it. And I think history tells us that. I think if you want to look at it logically, then no. To the point that been said, like, every year people spend their money a bit better. There's another story elsewhere. It gets harder from a kind of average points piece. So them 100 points days, I don't think they're happening for now, right? Because everyone is, but history tells us that, if we lose next week, it will just be another valiant effort, and you come up second.
We've got to put our chips in another basket, right?
Listen,
you'd have to win a cup.
Yeah,
I don't. You think I care?
You take that. If you didn't win the league this year and you won a cup, you would you take that.
No. But the problem is,
John won't.
Arsenal fans, I won't.
Because I'll be honest, as a United fan, I took the cups.
No, but you're in a different situation.
You're in a different situation.
But I'll take the cups may be happy.
You think that? Let me ask you 2 separate questions. Yeah.
All right.
Do you think that he's all right? Like he should be okay with just winning the FA Cup this year?
Arteta.
Yeah. Do you think he should be? Do you think he shouldn't have to sweat?
Yeah. So the reason why I say yes is to kind of breed that winning mentality, because you can't just. It's hard to topple City and sustain them for 3 years. So I wouldn't be like harsh on him if he fell off this year, because going toe to toe for City for 2 years is a madness in itself.
I'm not doing that.
If you can't do it,
the question, bro.
No,
you answered the second question I'm gonna ask.
I say
so he should be under pressure if he wins the FA Cup.
I don't think so.
He's under pressure.
I don't think so.
He's under pressure. See,
If he only wins the FA Cup, he's cool.
I think his pressure season is next year. I don't think his pressure season is. For me, his pressure season is next year.
Now, I think you're right from the club's point of view. I'm asking you whether he should be under pressure.
Of course. No, I don't.
Okay, fair. The club are not thinking that because they're just giving him a new 3 or 4 year deal. So he's not going anywhere. But really, he should be. I think he should be under pressure.
Same.
Big time.
If he wins the FA Cup or Carabao Cup, okay, it's progress, it's great, But mate, come on, man.
I think he's only just built his team over the last 2 seasons. Realistically,
nah,
he's gone with City toe to toe, like to one point.
Yeah, but you didn't win it.
If you drop off, I don't think it's a hard. I don't.
No,
and I'm saying it as a Liverpool fan because I've been there.
For me, if you drop off to Liverpool, and the reason why I'm saying this because if you look at what you spent in the market, what, one player? Was it one player?
Yeah, Chiesa.
Yeah, one player, no one else. Under a new system, new structure, and technically you're on a decline because VVD's what, 32?
33.
30, yeah. Mo Salah's what, 33? You understand? So technically, we shouldn't be dropping below you. And then if Chelsea closes the gap, no, but in the context of things, and Chelsea's closed, that's a big problem for me. That's a big problem because you've got a younger squad who's 2-3 years now more experienced than what they were when you got them together. And now we're dropping off at the key point.
But we can't have it both ways. Bukayo can't be breaking records for appearances and goals and all this stuff. And don't get me wrong, this is not a black or white thing. I'm not being reductive. I'm not saying that if he doesn't win the league this season, he's been rubbish. I'm just saying that at this point, and I've always maintained this, you don't go from being rubbish to winning the league with 1 or 2 managers. It very rarely happens, right? I've said this before. You took you guys 3 managers, right? Maybe 4.
More than
before. Man United, we might be 5 or 6. We can go through all the clubs, right?
Yeah.
So he should be under pressure for the level of power, investment, and quite frankly, this PR machine he's got. Anyway, you might know how I feel about him, right? I think the adulation and the PR he's got is well ahead of the accolades that should get you there. Yeah. And we already talked about his salary last week. I mean, flipping out. So I just think that you can't have it both ways. At the end of this season, if he's won the Carabao Cup or the FA Cup, well done. It's good for the team's development. But as a manager and part of the long-term project, he should be under pressure.
Big time. I think
Edu should be under pressure for managing his performance.
Going toe-to-toe with a City team that are winning 2 to 3 different trophies that season, I don't think that's toe-to-toe because they are exhausted. Like, even when we beat them, we beat an exhausted City team. Yeah, great, we got a trophy, but the team was knackered. I mean, Pepe's Pepe came out and said, we were a bit hungover. But the fact is that they won about 3 trophies that season. And
is it an exaggeration to say whether Arsenal won or lost that league last season? Bro, Brent, where there's a blame, there's a claim, you know. Let's just stick it back on. Yeah. Damn, there's no evidence. There's no evidence of it. Sorry, I guess. It was in Arsenal's hands essentially, right? It's not like, there were clear games that were dropped, right? You've said the same about the season when you lost just one. Like, you could go back and be like, that's the game. Yeah. But that's what it takes to be the best ever player. So in the same breath, I can be like, the team's been very good. You've pushed one of the best club teams we've probably ever seen, or up there with Barca, Emerson, right? You still didn't win. So let someone else have a go. Okay, how long do we wait? How long do we wait then?
I think you give until the end of next season. Like, personally, I think, remember, this is his first job in management. He's taken one of the highest one of the highest jobs in the game. He's shown that he can spar with the big boys.
Yeah.
And I think if you say, you haven't won the league, and then he leaves and goes on and does a madness elsewhere, I think you could regret it, basically.
But again, this goes back to the point I've always made. Him going elsewhere and doing well is not an indictment on Arsenal either. I actually think, personally, he needs to go somewhere where it's less of a restorative thing. Do you know what I mean? There's probably
ready-made.
Yeah, it's he goes to Barca with that kind of academy producing those players and that kind of pedigree and all that. Of course, he's gonna do well with his. That's not an issue. And I've said this before. When he leaves Arsenal and he goes elsewhere, he's gonna clap trophies. That's not. But he's played Arsenal today, innit?
Yeah.
And what he does at Arsenal is what he's measured on. And I think for both sides, at some point, they both have to be like, for him, this has been great, but can I go somewhere else and use sharper knives? Right? Yeah. And from a club's point of view, thanks, mate, but let me go and get my Klopp or my whatever. Yeah. That's the only thing. And I've always said that, right?
Yeah.
I've always said that. So that's this unlimited thing he keeps getting because City are so good. Bruv, it don't work like that. Mm-hmm. Klopp would never, ever, if Klopp didn't get Champions League and the league and reach another Champions League final, didn't he reach 2 Champions League finals?
Yeah,
3. Bruv, come on, man.
Yeah, you know
that's what kept him.
But I'm looking at
he lost the league by 1 point, and even twice, and even that
you won.
We're still not rubbishing him, but we're still saying he only won 1.
Yeah.
So you gotta come on. You got he's had the money, he's had the opportunity to build. There's lots of things, obviously the market, etc. But if he wins the league with his team, we're gonna be saying he's amazing. First job, blah blah blah. Yeah. He has to go the other way as well. That's what my own thing. Yeah. That's my only thing. Anyway, sorry, rant over. Everyone knows how I feel about Mikel. Just be fair, innit? Everyone just be fair. That's what I'm saying. We're gonna move on to is Liverpool. Liverpool brought things back against a resurgent Brighton. To your point about the teams are getting better. Liverpool, but Liverpool don't lose at Anfield. I always knew. Liverpool 2.
We have close to that.
But it's not a regular thing. How many times have you lost at Anfield in the last 5 years?
Yeah, not many.
In the league.
Yeah.
But yeah, Brighton got themselves in front with a goal from Ferdy Kadioglu. That finish was
Heidi.
I don't know what it is about them posting in ones. It's just a bit sweeter. You know, you get the sound. But it was a good finish. He had a lot to do. First time as well. Yeah, if you've not had a chance to see the goal, go check that out. And then Liverpool, that was early on, 14 minutes in.
And didn't Keller keep you in the game?
Yeah. Yes. So I don't know who played the ball through. But yeah, the guy's 1-on-1 with Kelleher and just kind of fluffed lines basically. Kelleher done well to close it down. Good save, but
no, it was like
it should have been 2-0.
Yeah. You know, on what's he called now? EAFC. To give it its correct name. You know when the guy brings the keeper at the perfect time. It was exactly like that. And he made it difficult. I think a more seasoned striker maybe might have gone around him. Possibly. But that would have been it. Well, not it, but it would have been 2-0.
Yeah, it would have been very difficult.
Very difficult. And to be fair, Danny Welbeck assist as well.
He's cooking though. He's been cooking.
Danny Mensah is doing his thing. He's doing his thing. Have you heard the slight digression? Have you heard the stories about ETH? That he wanted to bring Welbeck back last season.
Yeah.
Have you not heard the story, Gabs?
No. He wanted him back. They identified him.
I hate the way these things come out after guys left. Bare people pillow talking. Anyway,
I don't know if it would have helped him anyway.
It wouldn't. I think it would have put the nail in his coffin earlier.
Yeah.
But yeah, apparently he was impressed. I think there's a particular Brighton game against you guys, and he was like, "We need someone that understands the mentality that was here.
Yeah.
He's a good professional, blah, blah, blah. We're going to bring him back. And he got told categorically, nah, we're not bringing back Danny Welbeck at this age.
Another old guy.
Yeah. And he'll, if I was Danny Welbeck as well, I'm asking for a certain amount of money, etc. So yeah, I find that interesting. Anyway, Brighton held out until 70th minute. Cody Gakpo getting one back to equalise. And then the Salah happened.
Salah!
Killer Mo, as we call him. It reminds me of the goal he scored against Chelsea. It was a bit closer. Remember the goal?
Where he just laced
Yeah. So yeah, and with everything else that was going on in the Premier League at that time.
My head was hot, I'm not going to lie.
Yeah. Because at one point you look at it and you're like, okay.
Ooh, not bad day.
Yeah. And then it goes 1-1, you're like, okay, still damage limitation, and then 2 refreshes later, Mo's scored. Did you watch the game?
Yeah. So first half was the worst first half on the slot
Serious?
so far. It was bad, like really bad. We were bad against Nottingham Forest, but credit to Brighton. they avoided our press like the guys weren't there in the first half. It was like bop, triangle through the midfield. Like, what I mean, it was so quick. I was just like, and there was a lot of below par performances. Like McAllister wasn't great in the first half. Gravenberch wasn't great, to be fair. It was just a bit lackluster. And like in his post-match, Slot was like, I didn't even tell the boys to go out and win the game. He was just like, just don't be as bad as the second half against Nottingham Forest, and you'll be all right. And I quite like he does.
Overcomplicated.
Yeah,
actually.
Yeah. He's like very to the point
yeah.
and methodical. He was like, even if we didn't win the game, I'll just like, don't be that bad. And you can see when they came out for the second half, the intensity was there. Like we were like boxing in their players, so they couldn't get out of their press as easy. And it wasn't just, when you know a goal's coming, you're watching the game, you're like, a goal's going to come soon. It was one of them. And then Gakpo, a bit fortunate, he put a cross in. I don't know whether Nunes ducked. We might, I don't know. But it goes straight in from the cross. Keeper doesn't have a chance. And then...
Because it comes off... comes the defender. Did he hit defender flick?
No. So he's from out wide on the left, and he just crossed it in with his right foot, and he just bounced. It's just come all the way in. Yeah. And then he brings on Diaz and Jones, and they link up well for the Mo Salah goal. So Jones to Salah. And then it's a shame for Estepinian because that was like the one time he lost track of Salah.
Yeah.
And it's just the wrong time for
What did I say last week?
Yeah.
But them guys, it just takes one time and they'll punish you.
And Salah was quiet throughout.
Yeah, Estepinian had done a really good job on him.
It was a beautiful goal.
Yeah, it was a good
The finish was
But remember, Stott said that in the game against Ipswich, I think, and he took off, what's the kid, the young centre back?
Konsa.
And he said, we weren't getting Salah up high and one-on-one against the fullback enough.
Yeah.
And that's his whole thing. Happened last week against us. He got that one moment against the defence.
Oh, there's Kivio.
And he's high and wide. And then that's it. And that's what he done.
Yeah, so...
Moving like a kid lost at a funfair.
Yeah, like I keep saying, you can see the tweaks that Slot's done. And yeah, it's going well. But I just want everyone to chill a little bit. Because people said that we don't have the squad to win the league.
Mm-hmm.
And then now it's like,
listen. No, we're not doing that. Who's people?
You.
That's not what I said. That's not what I said.
You
Is that what I said?
What did you say?
Is that what I said?
Yeah. Well, we can pull out the tapes. I will sit through hours.
What I said is that you expected Slot to win the league in his first season.
No, I'm talking about before then. Because we've got the same squad as last year, and you said last year our squad was not good enough.
Yeah, and he proved not to be. He came third.
No, but I'm saying we've got the same squad now, so why would it change?
Yeah, but I don't think you're winning the league.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough.
Just saying. I thought you were talking about when we did the predictions. My thing was more about expecting Slot to win the league in his first. Listen, you see, if Slot wins the league this season, I want Arteta out. No, I'm going mad though.
No, you're not.
You're
not.
If Slot lands and wins the league with that squad this season,
it's not a bad squad.
But thing, I was saying this last.
I'm not saying your squad's bad.
There's two things. What you're saying is
third to first in his first Prem season.
Even though you got to look at
with
the
same
squad. The squad's had that experience,
and the player you added hasn't even touched grass yet.
Yeah, not in the league. He's only played.
I want him gone.
What's interesting, since Slot's come in, what's his name? Defensive numbers have gone up like massively. Trent. His one-on-one duels.
Trent, Canate.
Interceptions. I think Canate always had it in him, but I think the question mark was, can Trent, and we're seeing it from Trent now a lot more.
I think Canate is good.
Trent could always defend. If it's just
I hear that.
a media blow-up.
I think that's unfair. I think Trent could always defend, of course.
But
he plays for Liverpool. However, the level at which you need to defend that when you're trying to win the Champions League, when you're trying to win the Premier League, it's really, really, really high. Yeah. And he just lacks a little bit in that area. But yeah, of course he can defend.
Yeah. And I think Klopp's system made him a scapegoat at times because of how high he had him.
100%.
But and that's not down to him. I think he was a bit deeper. And I think now where he's a bit deeper, you're seeing him win those one-on-one duels a lot more, or he's not getting caught out through a diag ball or whatever.
And everyone likes to chat, but if we think about someone who never got beat one-on-one, Wan-Bissaka, everyone would rather have Trent in their team than Wan-Bissaka. No disrespect to Wan-Bissaka. So,
Yeah, of course, yeah.
So, like, it's all and good. But yeah, painfully,
I just want to shout out Gomez because he came on at half time for Kanate and he was stellar. He was my man of the match. So.
Did he play centre back?
Yeah, he plays
Which
centre
is
back.
where he likes to play.
With
right?
VVD, yeah.
It's his preferred position. And that's another, if Slot can get that balance right, keep Gomez and that engaged, etc. Again, that is how you win the league. If someone like him comes in because Kanate is injured or whatever, and he doesn't drop the ball for 5 games.
That's
keep the levels up. Yeah, that's the thing. So Liverpool top, 25 points. City second on 23 points. Nottingham Forest. Big up Nuno. Yeah, after Spurs dash you away like that.
And my boy as well.
Who?
My striker, innit?
Your striker.
You know my strikers don't do that. My striker.
You know what?
Who United
I'm surprised
should have
you've not
signed.
mentioned, what's his name?
Who?
Gibbs White.
I think he's been injured.
He's been injured.
Yeah.
He came out
that's
yesterday,
why.
his first game. Yesterday
Oh,
been injured.
yeah. I might owe him an apology soon. So, Nottingham Forest third, 19. How many points did they get the whole of last season? 35, 40? They've already got 19.
And they got a deduction of points as well, didn't they?
They got 2. No, everyone had 2.
Yeah, everyone
Yeah,
had to do that.
Yeah.
One.
Chelsea fourth after today's draw with Manchester United on 18 points. Arsenal fifth on 18 points. Chelsea are fourth on goal difference. And Aston Villa sixth on 18 points. They're sixth on goal difference. Yeah, it's all very close. But yeah, we are now 7 points behind Liverpool. Peak.
Long way to go.
It might be. You never know.
Long way to go.
Yeah,
Anyway.
like 28 more games, isn't it? More games.
We'll see. But yeah, it's a good time to talk about Nottingham Forest. Nottingham Forest at home to West Ham, 3-0. Adrian's player of the season so far, Chris Wood, with a very simple goal, to be fair. That defending was mad.
But no, you got rid of Kurt Zuma to start Mafropanos. No. When I saw that transfer going through, I was like, are they okay?
No, but that must have been a bit of money because he got to Saudi, no?
Yeah.
Bro, are you okay?
No, but they would have offered decent money.
How much
for
did he
his-
go for? Check. I don't think he went for that much, you know.
Yeah.
I don't think it was
and
that much.
He never went because I think the medical, he failed the first medical.
Yeah, I'm sure it was only like 10 mil. That's not a lot. It wasn't big money. That it was. I don't think it was a lot.
Yeah, but
It's because of the cat thing.
yeah.
It's PR. They need to
cat.
clean it up.
RSPCA got him out.
But yeah, I can't remember who got to the byline. He's peeled away as much as it can be peeling away. In the
I think it was Marino.
Yeah, Moreno. Yes,
Moreno, yeah.
Is he the one that was at Villa? Or different one?
I think it's a different one.
And then he's literally chipped up, and Chris Woods is literally on the 6-yard line and has headed it in. I mean, he's in great form. Commentator was like, his movement is impeccable. No.
It was easy.
No, no disrespect to Chris Woods. But he did move well, but he didn't do anything crazy. The defending was just so bad, and the form he's in now, you cannot give him anything in front of goal. He's tucking it away.
Because I think he's got the second most goals now.
Yeah, second. Yeah, it was the Marino from Villa.
It's initially a loan deal.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, initially it was. So Kurt Zuma's move to Saudi was is a loan deal. I don't think there's obligation to buy. Anyway, I take your point. And then Callum Hudson-Odoi chips up with a goal, 65th minute.
Nice goal.
That keeper on that one, I don't know.
Remind me what that goal was again.
He was on the edge of the box. I thought he just kind of lifted it into the
He just thinks
into
it
the 6-yard box and it just trickled all the way in.
Yeah.
When it went in, I was like, oh, how did that go in?
Wasn't expecting
One of
it.
them ones.
And then Olaina.
Ooh.
All right, I must
Listen.
say, that was a finish.
Yeah.
Have you seen the other angle though?
From behind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's one of these goals. I'm not taking away from it. It was a good goal, but it wasn't top bins. The keeper, he's not scoring that against Alisson.
He hit
It's
with a lot
alright.
of
There's
pace.
a bit of pace though.
Little
But
pace.
it was nice. He came in enough. He said I was tired, so I just hit it.
Yeah, I seen it.
I love it, man. I love it. It was a great goal. He said he just sat up. I was tired. I just hit it.
Yeah, why
But
not?
yeah, it was a great goal.
Gibbs White did play yesterday. He was injured for 2 games beforehand. And it just seems like it's ticking over, innit? Like, you know, when you like we said it about Newcastle, where they don't have the well beaters, but everyone kind of plugs together, and it works. And like the only full game I've watched of theirs was the when they came to Anfield, and they were just organised. They were like just
shoes at first,
shutting Salah down, shutting Diaz down, and then when it came to the counter attack, it was like.
Because they brought
Alanga goal.
But he brought them on late, remember?
He
brought he boxed, he closed you out, and then like the last 20 pace now.
Get out of there.
Just refresh the legs, get them out. But they look good, and they look like they're playing for their manager.
Yeah,
like they look like they really it's gelling.
Well coached, drilled team, and he looks like the kind of guy. I don't care who you are, bro. If you're not doing what I asked you to do, come out of the team, you're messing up with the structure. And I mean, look, to your point about this, you know. They're back for Murillo from Brazil, Alex Moreno, looking at Milenkovic, don't know who that is. Olaina, obviously Gibbs White, up and coming. Well, how old is he now before I say up and coming? This is how people talk about Konate. Like,
he's old now, he's old. Give me about 24, 25?
Yeah, it's 24, fine. So yeah, you know, on his way.
Yates.
Callum Hudson-Odoi, redemption arc, I think he's done very well. Yeah. He's come back.
Yates is captain, isn't he, as well?
Yates. It was Yates.
Is he?
Yeah,
Ryan Yates, Alanga, and then Nicolas Dominguez. Again, don't know the Dominguez guy, never heard of him. And then, of course, Chris Wood. You know, Newcastle could, you know, I'm just saying.
Could do with him.
Nico Williams on the bench, Harry Toffolo, Bolly from Wolves, Elliot Anderson, who else is there? Taiwo Wani can't get in the team. And he was, you know, Pastor Wani, as we used to call him.
And it's like this team isn't too dissimilar from Nuno's Wolves team that first came up. Like the organised team, you know you'd be in a game with them, etc. I think like it just took him a while, the back end of last season, to kind of get his system going. He's had the summer to sort out his team, and then now he's like, right, this is how we're going to play football. And no one would have had them. They're fourth, right? No one would have had them fourth after 10 games.
Not at all.
Like,
but no, they look good.
No.
They
look good.
But I think it just really, like you said, and he's been ruthless. Remember, he got rid of what's the goal? Our old goalkeeper, Matt Turner.
Oh yeah.
Got rid of Matt Turner. He's like, God,
he was bad last year, innit? Oh my days.
He's like, later. Got rid of Matt Turner.
Sells in my dream team, so.
He's got them ticking. He's found the right formula, right formation, and
And is he going to be a bit of a victim of his own success? So obviously battling relegation last season, whatever. This season would have just been survival, right? Don't get relegated. In fact, let's stay away from the relegation battle as early as we possibly can. But now, you know, again, it's only 10 games in, but let's say we get to Christmas. Christmas is about 16 games in, I want to say. 16, 17 games in. Maybe even more, maybe 18 with that short period. If he's still top 10, then did the goalpost shift a bit for him? Or actually, it's just still.
I don't.
Or is that just he's achieved his goal early? We're not going to do a relegation fight.
I think they'll just be happy with achieving that, not being in a relegation battle,
and they can just
build on that
pressure off a little bit.
Yeah. Because the other thing about the Premier League these days as well is, you know, every position higher you go, it's a lot of money. It is a lot of money, and they've been spending it the last couple of years. So yeah, really good win, Lopetegui. Go on.
Well, to your point, they should have made a change. Yes. The change just seems to be the wrong person at the present moment in time. It may not stay like this.
Can I have one more week of he's still figuring it out? Or
it's 10 games, man. It's 10 games.
And they're so bad.
And all the players that Moyes had performing, they're not performing. Paqueta, what's he doing? And we can say we're going to blame the up and coming court case, but
to be fair, Alvarez getting sent off in the first half as well didn't really help things.
No,
silly yellow card, especially the second one.
But it's just been bad. It's just been really bad for them.
And I'm not seeing enough of them. Is there anything like structurally there? He's playing it's
a bit all over the place. He's chopping and changing midfield.
They're too easy to get through as well. Like they're not very good at stopping the transitions.
Yeah.
So
And has he gone free? He went free at the back, hasn't he? He's gone.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's got 3 at the back.
Three at
2
the
wing
back.
backs.
Yeah.
With Wan-Bissaka on one side, Emerson on the other.
Yeah.
Then obviously Alvarez and Rodriguez. And then Paqueta's doing like a 10. Well, he started yesterday with almost this false 9 situation with some of Jared Bowen and Paqueta.
Yeah.
And they're good players, that's the thing. It's not like...
Oh, Bowen's a good player.
You got to remember, under Moyes, they were performing.
Hmm?
I said under Moyes, the team was performing and they looked good.
Thank you.
They look good.
No, they did.
Yeah.
But they wanted something better, innit?
And he won something.
Yes,
Right.
that is true. I'm not having it.
And he had them difficult to beat.
They've just picked the wrong successor. I don't think it was a bad idea to let Moyes go,
Yeah.
but they've just picked the wrong.
Really?
Yeah, I don't think so.
I don't think
So. There was a ceiling to that, bro.
Nah.
There was a ceiling. So what was Moyes going to do next? Win the Europa League? Get them into Champions League? Wasn't happening, bro.
You don't think so?
No.
I think he had the momentum in his favour.
Yeah.
I think he had momentum. He had the players behind him.
Momentum.
I don't know, like...
I mean,
Obviously, I'm not looking at this from like a business perspective, but
Just from a football perspective.
but there's certain teams who don't get out of their zone, innit? So with West Ham, Moyes were going to do no better or no worse. You were going to be that middle-of-the-road team until Moyes left.
Yeah, but they're looking to invest money to not be that middle of the road team anymore. And he's proved that because Everton did top 4, did Champions League Cup. I know the goalposts have changed, but if I'm now going to invest money to not be that middle of the road team anymore, I need to have a manager of that ilk. I think they've got sucked in with Lopetegui's reputation and his CV.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
They should have done more of a Amarin type,
Well, they wanted him. Remember, he flew over and had chats with them, innit?
Yeah,
Mm.
true. So
So
to
they
be fair to
wanted
them, yeah. So I think what he's just turning out with, and if they couldn't get someone that's of that ilk, Maraska, etc. Well, Lopetegui's his CV is not to be laughed at, but it's not working out.
It's not
not at all.
Didn't happen with Pellegrini?
Yeah.
No, didn't Pellegrini leave to go do?
No,
he went
done
there
City.
after City, innit?
He went there after City.
He was there after City. So I'm saying that this is
The
their
players,
realm.
man.
This is their realm. They're
the
not.
player, bro.
No, it can't
I
be
can't
it can't
see
be the
West
players,
Ham
bro. The same players
breaking.
Nah, man.
Lopetegui, listen, yeah. Don't let me down, bro. We need a 2-in-2 on this. Elia, what's his name? At Bournemouth. The manager's name. Iriola. Prove me right. Lopetegui, don't. But all I can say is if he gets fired and they bring someone in and they do all right, I'm still right. Just so you know.
How?
Because my main point was that moving on from Moyes was the right decision.
But
I didn't tell them who to employ instead.
But
Bro,
you got
10
to
games.
finish higher than what Moyes did
There you go.
for you to be right.
Nah, bro, you're right.
And you got to remember, Moyes had Bowen, 17 goals last season?
Yeah.
Kudos, 9, about 17
This is
GA.
all the same thing you was saying when
Paqueta.
you was giving me heat for the Bournemouth thing, innit?
No, but
I won't give you heat for the Bournemouth thing.
No, but
Paqueta was
Liverpool,
performing. He had Alvarez come in and start performing. The team's awful. Under this guy's awful.
hold on, wait. The season that Moyes won up was the season before last. It wasn't last year. And he had Rice that season.
He won it with Rice.
Yeah.
And then Rice left.
Yeah, exactly.
And then
And what did they do last season?
they done all right.
Yeah, they done okay.
They
Done
done
okay.
doing better than
But
what
they
they're doing
want to
right now.
spend money and get higher.
and it's not working out.
It's not working out.
10 games in.
10 games in.
All right, so what,
But
if
if they get rid of him-
if we reach game 19 and it still looks the same, we can say it's a flop, yeah? Because that's halfway
if
through
we
the season.
reach game 19 and he's still in the job,
And performing
the
like
West Ham
this.
board have done me dirty.
Okay.
That's what's happened. But you're right. They can't wait that long as well. Because these days,
Yeah.
it's tricky. You can't wait that long.
But the only thing that allows them to wait this long is the bottom three's performing so bad.
Yeah.
True.
That's the only thing that's allow them to get out of it. But yeah.
That's true. All right, boy. Anyway, and then kind of, Man United can't start the headlines.
Mhm.
Today, as time would have it, Manchester United had played Chelsea at home at Old Trafford. If you've been living on Mars for the last 5 days, you won't know that Erik Ten Hag has been what did they say, relieved of his duties. And the new manager's been appointed. He's going to start on November the 11th. He's currently the Sporting Lisbon manager, I believe.
Yeah.
And it's really annoying for the rest of us fans who were enjoying the Manchester United soap opera from afar.
Oh.
We were suffering. You gotta remember, my brothers are Arsenal fans. Bro, my family group chat, I was airing messages left, right.
I can imagine. I mean, look, in all seriousness, I think there's so many things to talk about with this one, yeah? I think it'll be good to just hear from you as in, do you feel like it was overdue? Do you feel like actually when you take an objective look at things, Ten Hag had earned the right to still show what he could do? What's your, as a Man United fan, how do you look?
I feel like every new manager that comes in, you give them 2 seasons, get your squad right, and then 3rd season, I'm expecting performances. So 1st season, I think Ten Hag over-delivered.
Okay.
2nd season, I think the cup kind of kept him.
Yes.
But it was a poor season. We were poor in terms of goal. We had a negative goal difference. Like I had no chat for no one. We're in a group chat together. You saw when United fans were going crazy. I'm saying, guys, let's relax.
Yeah. Humility is not a fan. It's not a trait many Man United fans.
I'm saying, yeah. We could say, we got 2 more trophies than Arsenal, but our goal difference is in the mud. Like, we are looking like a bottom of the table team.
Yeah.
This doesn't look good. And for me, I think from a purely banter perspective, 2 trophies sounds great. Can I say this is the same United that I watched growing up loving? Nah. Brett was bad. I was gonna come today with my United jersey. I said, let me not. Like, but I think the decision to let him go was right. Because I think it got to a point where he came with his philosophy. After the 1st season, it felt like he dropped the philosophy, and it felt like his message was just go out and play.
Yeah.
We had no identity, and I think for me, I struggle when everything depends on our counter-attack. And that's what I felt like. We became a team that were reactive. We weren't controlling the game. There was no clear identity on what was happening. It was, they make a mistake, we counter, Garnacho, go. And for me, I kind of felt like, bro, I had my heart palpitations. Like, as a fan watching, I'm like, if you're playing a team that's fantastic on the ball and don't lose possession, that means we're finished.
Yeah.
And I think you started to know he lost it when he was saying, we've won 2 trophies. And I thought, this is, as a manager, this can't be your claim to success. Like, you can't be making it sound like you are just after Pep Guardiola. I was like, this man is... For the 1st season, I was like, yeah. 2nd season, I was like, I don't know. The 3rd, I was trying to get him out.
And the thing is, he did help himself with some of the ways, again, some of the decisions, some of his journey. And that's why I laughed when you said Arteta's a rich man's ETH, because again, some of the same things, man management, some of the way he dealt with Guendouzi and all that kind of stuff, same thing. I mean, what Arteta is, though, is way more private. He comes from that Guardiola school. He's not on the Dutch speaking frankly openly in the press conferences, but obviously we had the Ronaldo issue,
then the Sancho issue.
And the funny thing is, with a few of these things, I could make arguments where he's not in the wrong.
No.
However, he is in the wrong with the way he dealt with them.
You remember the conversation we had about Sancho?
Yeah.
I said very openly, Sancho was right to be reprimanded. Go in about it in a press conference. And what he said wasn't wrong. I think how you respond to it and how you control that narrative as a manager is different. I'd never expect to see Mikel Arteta come out the same way that ETH did. And to be honest, you haven't shown anything to say, I can come out and talk crazy about my team like this. If Pep comes out and cusses out the team, Pep deserves to cuss out the team. If Klopp used to come out and cuss out the team, Klopp deserves to cuss out the team. ETH, big man, relax. Take your blazer off. Relax. And that's what I just felt like it could have been handled a heck of a lot better.
Yeah, he didn't help himself. I don't think he helped himself. Then, of course, some of the talk, it kind of changed. Oh, I'm not here to play the same style I played in Ajax. I don't have the same players. And when he said that, I was scratching my head thinking, well, that's kind of the basis of which you were employed.
Yeah.
So what are you doing now?
Yeah.
So look, it's again, football is a funny place because the only place where you celebrate people losing their jobs. Yes, I know they're well remunerated and they're not gonna be on the breadline anytime soon. But it's still a bit mad. But I've been saying for some time. I said it. I didn't see how much longer he could last.
Yeah.
I do think that Ineos have already shown a little bit of
naivety.
I was going to say ineptitude, actually. Because again,
they gave him a new contract in the summer, innit?
Well, so to be fair, it was an extension, right?
Bunch.
It was it was an extension.
But why?
But I've said it vocally at the time. You've got enough data. You've had enough time to show that the likelihood is that this is going to carry on. The likelihood of this changing is much smaller.
Yeah.
Than the likelihood of it staying the same, right? And then with all the people you'd brought in, the new CEO, I don't even know what all the job titles are. There's about 5 people that came in. You'd think between that brains trust, they would have said, actually, no, right? Even the whole Van Nistelrooy thing, all of that, it all just seemed very lipstick on a pig type vibes.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So anyway, we got rid of him. The only thing I was saying in their defense is 2 things. To your point, apparently it was an extension. So whether they got rid of him then or got rid of him now, it would have still cost them the same amount of money, apparently. Right? So that was probably where they're thinking, well, you know what? Rather than make the same mistake twice, there isn't a standout mark candidate that we can get now, and it's not going to cost us any more money. We'll ride with what we know, better the devil, And secondly, I think at that time, maybe it was Amorim that they wanted. There were a few people probably in slightly better situations because his current sporting director is going to see. He's the one that's going to replace Tiki Begstarian. So everyone was like, well, is he going to follow? Pep's contract's up at the end of the season. He's not signing a new one. So I get that, but I'm sorry. There were more that we can probably, if we all went away for 5 minutes and set everyone a task on Google, we could all probably find 5 or 6 managers
that was available.
Yeah, 100%. And then you've gone and paid 10 million for him.
But
so actually, most of those managers that they would have had to get out contracts, they would have been able to pay it.
I think you're Ineos, you've come in after a very, very drawn out process of buying. Like, remember, that was that extended.
Took almost a year, didn't it?
Very long. And we was told it was going to be quick.
Yeah.
So you've already had that big drawn out saga. Saudi pull out, and then everyone's no one wanted Jim Ratcliffe to win it. Everyone was kind of anti it.
I'm not gonna lie, I was worried about that Saudi money,
Bro, it would have been different. So I think you've had that public saga. The fan base weren't really keen on Ineos coming in.
Yeah.
Then you've hit the end of the season. All right, we're having this talks. You announce it. I don't know why the hell they announced it. It's going to be a quick turnaround and it spans over 7 days.
Yeah, but some of that is regulatory, right? Because they're listed.
Yeah, no, obviously.
Yeah, some of that
but what looks like is going to be a quick decision then prolongs. So you've got another prolonged period where your players don't know who's coming in. Your fan base don't know who's coming in. The fan base are getting tired. Your players they're enjoying the summer. They want to know who am I coming back to and what style of play am I? Because you got to remember, I think we look at it and yes, it's football, but it's employers and employees. If you come back to work and it's a new manager and they want to change up how things work, that's a whole new system to understand. So you got to think it dragged on for a bit throughout the summer. Yes, you could bring someone else in, but when everyone's on holiday and Bruno Fernandes is doing Sneakwell jet ski wave, who are you going to bring back to then change up a whole new system of play and expect to get something? So I think they made a decision for them, which they thought made sense.
Yeah. But then to your point now you're bringing in someone in to do that mid-season, right? Whereas you could have had a full pre-season. You might not have made some of the signings you made.
But you've
Yeah. So, I mean, Ugarte will be happy. That's the manager that kind of made his name with. I think if we now look forward then and say, have they made a good appointment? I think you can separate the two. You can say they made a good appointment without prophesizing whether he's going to win the Champions League there. I think it is a good, by all accounts, it's a good appointment. You know, he didn't quite reach Jose Mourinho's heights, but he's giving me those same type of vibes as in young manager, left the game early. Assured. He's kind of shown his ideas can work in a few different teams. I know he's only been in Portugal, but again, hasn't done terribly in European competitions. So I just wonder if, you know, it's Man United, right? It's a big situation. It's a bit like when Arteta came to Arsenal. I don't think it's as dire because Man United, I think the pressure and the visibility, you know, all the pundits in this country are basically 90% are ex-Man United, some of the loudest voices. So I think that turns up a notch. Can he deal with all of that? But by all accounts, he's got a very distinctive style of play. Likes his three at the back. His wingers are very important. So already the think pieces have started. He's not going to want Bruno Fernandes.
What do you think is your biggest area to kind of that he needs to rectify and address in your team? Because
all of it.
Yeah, there's that. But I think to be honest, I think the biggest issue we've had with United is the player's voice is a lot stronger than managers.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I wasn't expecting you to say that. Yeah. In what sense?
I'll be honest, in the sense of, all right, so I'm not sure if you heard, there was this rumour that ETH coming out was because Rashford was unhappy. That's what everyone was saying. Rashford is unhappy. And I think there was a clip where he had subbed him off a few weeks ago and Rashford was like, what the hell is he doing?
Yeah.
But then you've got someone like Ahmad who's just sitting on the bench, cold player.
Yeah.
You know he comes on, he impacts the game. He's just sitting there. And for me, I was like, I don't know why he's not playing him. But I think it got to a point where players were able to dictate where things were going to happen.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, interesting.
I think it's always been, if you think, look at United, the leaks. It's always the players coming out and dropping leaks. It's always someone inside Carrington who's saying, oh, you know, lunchtime, Luke Shaw wasn't happy and it's all over the place. I think...
Yeah, there was even someone this week saying that when Ronaldo got frozen out, he weren't allowed in the dressing room and then he had to get
someone else to go and retrieve his stuff.
Trainers. Yeah. And then the players were like, well, you're going a bit too far now. He should be allowed to get in the dressing room to get his trainers,
at least get his things.
Yeah.
And it's all that stuff there. Like, same thing, you know, Sancho was trading with the youth team. And I remember reading the report that it was so bad, he had to be isolated because of safeguarding reasons, right? You can't have this guy who's 24. Change room with
16-year-olds.
So his food is being brought to him in in cardboard, like he's gone to the chicken shop or something. He's on his own. Like, it was just all went a bit too far. I think he would have learned a lot. Like Ten Hag, hopefully he's learned a lot.
I don't know, because I think he's stubborn.
Yeah,
I think he's stubborn. I don't think he learned. I think he came in and tried to do the whole "it's my way or the highway."
But he's been around so many. Like, he worked for Pep at Bayern. Like, he's been around functioning, high performing setups. It just surprises me. But anyway, sorry. Back to your question and I remember. I think I wasn't expecting this. That's a good point. I think the other thing for me is he has to be able to come in, set up the team the way he wants to set it up with the players that can play that way. And anybody who's surplus to those requirements needs to go. Yeah. It doesn't matter who you are. Whether you're Marcus Rashford, like Prince of the Town, whether you're bruv, that is number one. Yeah, that's number one. He needs to be and do it in the right way.
But I think that's secondary to winning the team over. Because if you come in and you show the team, look, this is how I play, this is what I want, and the team buy into it, I think that works and it starts to click. But
don't you think part of that is winning the team over? So you come in, this is the way I play. It's successful, so they start buying into it. But you know, players are ruthless. Me, you could be best friends, but if you're not feeling it, you're on the bench. Yeah, WhatsApp, I'll be like, don't worry, bro, head up. But I'm playing every week.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
You've got to bear in mind, a lot of them men are on massive wages.
Big time.
So I know it's easy to say they've got a cut.
Yeah.
Sorry, I don't mean even sell them immediately, but it's got to be patently obvious that you're not playing because you don't fit into this plan.
Yeah.
Not that, you're Marcus Rashford, so somehow I got to fit you in. And I keep using Rashford as an excuse, but you know,
but it's true. He's been having a stinker and he's there every single week on the team sheet.
Yeah. Or Harry Maguire, or whoever you are. You just got to do it in the right way. Just don't, you know.
So with that, do you think your transfer windows complement him as a manager. Your signings complement his playing style.
What, the last transfer window or just overall?
Or going forward?
No, this last transfer.
Oh, okay.
This last summer transfer.
Xerxes? No way.
No, definitely not.
No, I think you're not going to be surprised.
I think he'll definitely adjust and I think here's what I think. I think some of it works. I think some of it doesn't.
You got to.
Yeah, I think Ugarte is perfect for that. I don't know where Bruno sits in that team. I don't know how he fits into his system.
Bruno just got a new bumper contract.
I don't know how it works.
$250 a week.
Don't know how it works. In a 3-4-3 setup, and this is the thing, I think the style of play is so different to what we play now. It's not like we're going into another 4-3-3 or saying let's switch to a 4-4-2. You're saying let's switch to a 3-4-3.
Or even a 3-4-1-2 sometimes.
Like,
yeah.
And Bruno's going to sit at the top?
Well,
How?
so this is where I'm going to contradict what I said a little bit. This is where the measure of him as a coach comes in, right? Because actually, so I said, look, this is where I want to play. This is the formation. The people that work in it have to be front and center. But then part of being a coach is actually identifying the players.
Get you from that to that.
Well, no, and also, to your point, bro, let's say someone like Bruno, he's clearly got lots of attributes, but he's polarizing, right? You know, he's got a good engine, he's got a good eye, pass, etc. But some of his decision making, etc. As a coach, actually, if you can help him, coach him to the point where he's effective in the way you want to work, that's where he kind of really earns his money. And actually, them getting rid of Ten Hag, I believe, puts them really on the borderline with FFP. So he's not. I think they're in a sell to buy type situation.
We already were.
So. Yeah, I'm intrigued to see what happens with Bruno. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm
lots of hate watch from me.
Yeah, and I'm interested to see what
just
happens.
Just on Bruno, not
just Bruno.
Yeah,
I'm really interested to see what happens, and more so for me, it puts a big question over the structure that they've implemented
already.
Big time.
Yeah, because and the reason being that me observing it is because we implemented the structure at Arsenal and we tore it up pretty quickly.
The Raul's, the one that bought Pepe.
Mr. Slat and
yeah. They did. They tore it up within 18 months or so.
Yeah. And I'm looking at like that some of the signings, even though because the structure's meant to be now, the club signs the players, not the manager's choice anymore, and you sign them for a structure. But again, you haven't really got a system or a structure that you're signing players for. So then it looks like Erik ten Hag's gone, all right, get Delete, get this guy. And they're all his ex-players technically. So then have you actually? Yeah. So is it actually the new system, or
I think you're right. I think you're spot on. Erik ten Hag bought Ajax ball. That's what he bought. He bought Ajax ball and said, "This is the type of I want the fast transitions. I want possession based, playing out from the back." And then you're bringing in a new manager to say, "I want these players that have played that type of style." Or have come with that school of thought of this is how we're playing, and I'm switching up to a 3-4-3. I think it's going to take a while. That's me being completely honest.
Yeah, that's what I said already.
I think it's going to take a real while. And I think as a fan, we've had so many changes in managers over the last couple of seasons. And I hate saying we got to give it 3 seasons. I just don't think this is a quick.
No, it's not.
But
I think it's a good signing.
Yeah.
I think he definitely has the credentials to come in and say, I need the time. But I think Ineos need to give him the time.
Yeah, he's got a 2.5-year deal. I think...
I don't even think that's enough time.
No, I agree, but he's got to earn it. I think it's the right thing. I think this season is about come in, show that your ideas can have an impact, stop the rot almost.
I think it's damage control.
Yeah, I agree, yeah.
I think we're sitting in, 14th?
Yeah.
It's damage control right now. We need to end top 10.
And I think summer is get out as much of the deadwood as you can.
Yeah.
But get some savvy signings in. But also, you got to work with... We've made a lot of investment to your point. Work with... Mason, Matt, all these men are there. So you never know. You never know. And then there's always that thing of which one of these favourites is he going to try to bring?
Yeah.
So what's the name of the guy? Is it Marcus Edwards?
Yeah.
You know, do we start
and
seeing
the striker, is it Gokares?
Yeah, do we start seeing, you know how it goes.
I wouldn't be surprised, but I think every manager comes along with at least one person who's like, you're my talisman. Yeah, you're my guy. I know if I bring you, no matter what, you're gonna. And let's be honest, I wouldn't mind taking each striker.
No,
our strikers are not really.
They're not really striker. Well, you got Højlund, but he's young. You should have someone a bit more.
Højlund's all right. Like I like Højlund.
I do.
I like Højlund,
but he shouldn't be Man United's main striker.
No. Not at all.
Got to give him a bit of breathing
is-
space.
Is he
Xerxes,
taking?
I think people got to give him
Sorry,
some
I
slack.
was
bro.
I
Is he
don't know. I
techie?
think he needs to be loaned out. Yeah, I think loan him out. Loan him out. Let him get some experience. I think loan him out.
Yeah,
I think-
Højlund is like in the same boat as Jackson at Chelsea, innit? Like
Yeah.
last season. He shouldn't come in and everything be dependent on
No,
you.
not
There
at
should
all.
be someone. I know like Martial was still there, but he was
Yeah.
hardly ever fit. But yeah, long may United's downfall continue.
Well, I think it's good though. If you look at it from a Premier League point of view, look, we got a lot of the. Think about up and coming managers.
Yeah.
There's a lot of them in this league now. Not all of them. You've got, you got the guys in Italy doing their thing and etc. But another kind of modern football thinker. You got Maresca doing. But that guy's tweaking his team every week. Every week he's doing something
He's
mad
ruthless with it as well.
Yeah, I like it. It's interesting. He's like an elite level football manager player or something.
Yeah.
Obviously, you got my man at Ipswich, slightly lower team, but again, trying to kind of working through it. And then, Amarim's going to turn up. Got Arteta at Arsenal. It's going to be interesting, man. Pep might leave. Who knows, right? Who are they going to get?
I think he's leaving.
I don't think so.
No.
20 million a year.
Yeah, he did.
I don't think he's getting anywhere. All right, cool. It might, unfortunately, be the Man United soap opera might be over. Just quickly to run you through the rest of the results. Bournemouth 2, Manchester City 1. The false hope of the weekend.
I'm upset.
Yeah, I thought
My FPL team took a beating this weekend.
Oh,
I had two men. How much my bench got? About 40 points.
no way.
Yeah, he had 2
40
Bournemouth
points.
and someone else.
I had a Nottingham Forest defender that scored.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
The left back for
Semenyo.
Bournemouth who set up the goal, and then
Steaming. The bad one I had on my bench, I had the Southampton left back.
It happens.
Because they won 1-0. But yeah, Bournemouth 2, Manchester City 1. Again, I don't think that was a smash and grab. It was a great game
That was
from
a good
Bournemouth.
performance.
Great performance. Semenyo,
He's
I think
cold.
he carries us on the end of the season. He's looking to move.
Yeah.
Ipswich 1, Leicester 1. His
Phillips.
favourite player.
Kevin Phillips messed them up again, man.
What?
Got sent off
got
when they
sent
were
off.
1-0 up. That's like they played the last 10
Oh,
minutes.
he got
with
sent
10
off again?
Yeah.
Yeah, bruv. They played the
No,
last 10
yellows.
this
minutes.
guy.
10 men.
Oh,
The
yeah.
second
I've
tackle
never
was
seen.
silly. The second tackle was silly. It was unnecessary.
Yeah.
I've never seen a career crumble like this before. I can't think of anybody. You think of anybody?
Yeah. And they were good for the win. Up until he got sent off, they're good for the win. And then the pressure. And then
And then Jordan Ayew.
Leicester Ayew
Oi.
is a different Ayew.
Oh, you backtracking now, yeah?
No, I'm just saying it's different. It's different
However, Vardy's assist, that
Yeah.
I've not seen it.
it's just the way he just took the weight off the pass and just rolled back Ayew in for the goal.
Vardy's on stuff, you know.
Oi, exactly.
Vardy
got a bit
is
of pace.
on, listen, Vardy's on stuff.
You know,
Like,
I think he's paying for that court case, you know. I swear down, because he looks like he could be on the beach just chilling, you know what I mean?
I agree.
He looks knackered when he comes off the beach. He's like, "Oh, why did she shut up?"
Because what's he's got a bill of what, 7 million or something?
Yeah, so it's a madness because she got to pay both sides, isn't it?
Yeah.
Peak.
Peak. Southampton beat Everton at home 1-0.
Oh, Russell
Everton's first
Martin.
goal in a while. Yeah.
Russell Martin football.
Yep. Let's see
Yeah.
how long that.
Close offside though. Equalised with like 5 minutes to go.
Yeah.
Better. Yeah.
Wolves 2, Crystal Palace 2. Not gonna lie, not the most exciting
No.
Sky Sports live 5:30 game we've ever seen.
Yeah.
And yeah, that was the last of the results. And then tomorrow night we've got Fulham Brentford, which actually will be a decent game, very
yeah, I
decent
think so.
game. Fulham, they're cooking, they're simmering. Fulham and Brentford. Just never know what Brentford you're gonna get, but we're certain in Burma, bro.
Those are my dream team as well.
Are they?
Yeah, but I told you, look at my dream team.
Just shut up,
I'm
man.
winning this league. I'm
You're
winning the
not,
centre
bruv. You're
circle
not winning nothing.
fantasy football league. I'm winning it.
You're not winning it, bro.
I had to rep because you two are not repping right now, so I had to rep.
Oh, relax,
it.
man.
Who's not repping?
You're not repping. Have
I'm
you seen the
definitely repping.
table?
Yeah.
You're at 17th
In where?
in the table,
What table?
in the centre circle.
17th. Are you sure?
Check it.
Nah, you're lying, bro. I'm checking it right now.
Check it right now.
17th.
And once you check it, look at my team, and then you know.
No one cares about your team, bro.
But
Hey, yo. Yeah, this is techies too. But you're not even top of your chatting. Shut up,
Brother,
man.
I'm gonna be top. Have you seen my team?
Anyway,
Oh, wow. We should start that conversation. All right. And then last but not least, something a bit wider. Keith has talked about this a couple of times, actually, about the game congestion and replays in Cup. So, actually, Keith, you walk through. I don't know the detail, but the FA Cup have changed the replays.
So last season, FA Cup scrapped replays from the 5th round onwards just to kind of ease with fixture congestion, as you said. But this season, they've gone a bit further. So the FA Cup first round started this weekend. And the FA have decided to scrap replays from the first round onwards. And it just caused a bit of contention amongst mainly lower league teams because, like with the magic of the FA Cup, etc., a lot of these teams, when they get to kind of the second, third round, they start playing Championship team, Premier League teams, and they might be able to kind of draw a bigger team at home and then hopefully draw the match and kind of go back to like the Old Trafford, the Anfield, the Emirates, and kind of essentially get a big payday. And in the past, we've heard chairmen of these smaller clubs saying getting a replay at one of these big clubs can keep the club afloat for 2 or 3 seasons. That's kind of how lucrative these match days are. And so the argument is, should the FA in English football be doing more to support these teams so they shouldn't have to bank on these replays?
Lazy
argument.
Lazy argument.
It's a lazy argument. Or should they not be kind of bending backwards to the bigger teams and easing the fixture congestion?
I guess, what's your thoughts on it? Because the reason I said that is because you've mentioned a couple of times about replays in cups, it's unnecessary, etc. Do you think from that point of view and the wider conversation about fixture congestion, this is a good move?
Yeah, the thing with the fixture congestion, it only affects...
Damn it.
It only affects a
higher...
higher...
the trap. They walk into it.
No, of course not. It only affects like a few clubs at the top. And like I keep saying I'm old school in it. Like I quite like how the FA Cup was. The good thing they've done, they're stopping Premier League games on the same day as like quarterfinals, semi-finals, which I think is good. And I quite like the replays where you see teams who are kind of digging in deep at home. The game's televised and like they've taken Man United to...
Tell you one thing I don't miss though. Didn't the finals have replays as well back in the day?
Oh yeah, back in the day.
Yeah.
To play like 2 or 3 games. Yeah, they scrap that. Yeah. So you can see the argument for both, innit? Like it's I don't think you'll ever get the right answer because you're gonna upset either party.
I've got a crazy idea. But I think as we make more and more of these kind of decisions to ease congestion, it becomes more of a business. I think you have to take a little bit of a leaf out of American sports, right? And you know, like in American sports, so here we're very much about the draw. If you get drawn out first, you're the home team and all that stuff, right? We leave you a lot more to chance and all this business. Whereas there's rules around it. It's like in basketball, I don't know the exact rules in the playoffs, but if you win, you keep home advantage.
Yeah.
To be honest, I don't think it would be that crazy if we just said, I did say it was a crazy idea. So when it gets to like the third round, the higher placed team, they play at home. So if you draw out 2 teams, they're playing. If you draw out Manchester United and Gillingham, Manchester United play at home. Bang.
I don't know. My thing would be the 2 teams decide.
Yeah.
That's even worse.
No, I don't think so.
Who's running that admin?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think so.
What, 2 teams? Because if I'm Gillingham, I'm going to be like, I want to have my ground.
Yeah. No, I mean decide if you have a replay.
Oh,
Not decide where the game's played.
No, then it's inconsistent.
Yeah, but you never. It's not going to balance out anyway. So
everyone's playing one game now.
A big team is always going to say no.
Yeah,
because they're going to favour no replay, save my players' legs.
But my thing is, magic at the FA Cup. I get it. We like the whole they go to a small ground. Where did Arsenal go one year? It was like artificial pitch, and we got bopped. Where did we go? Was it Sutton United or something? Do you remember?
I think
it was either Emery or early Arteta days.
I think it was Emery.
But we can't have it both ways. If we're not going to give that team the opportunity to lock up shop at Sutton United and get a game at Emirates, just let everyone play at the high. You know, if you're a Championship team, if you're, I don't know, Leeds, and you get Carlisle, bruv, you play Ellen Road.
Yeah.
I think that's what they should do. Then it's win-win.
Yeah.
That team gets the bright lights under the lights. If they're not going to get a replay, let them get their money. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what they should do.
But they might change it. Like, I think they'll see how it goes this year. And the other point is, how many times do those teams actually get the replay at the bigger team? And obviously, like a non-league team they still benefit if they go away to like a League 2 or League 1 team. So it's not just about them playing a Premier League team. They still get the money in it. So
well, I guess to your point is when it's the third round, innit? That's when it comes in and those teams are still in. So even if you think about it, even in the third round, that would even help because to your point, it doesn't happen that often that someone gets a replay. So actually, if we did it that way, everybody who's playing a Premier League team, they all get money.
Yeah.
They all get the opportunity.
But then they'll say, oh, it's good to have them in our small little ground, etc. So
but
someone will moan. Regardless.
True, but you cry in your Maybach, right? Figuratively. You will cry with the check in your hand.
Not if you're a small team, though. Crying your Fiat 500.
Yeah, but that's my point. But you're crying after going to Old Trafford and getting the relative TV money or whatever, or going to Emirates or even going to Leeds, Ellen Road. Yes, it's great to have them at your small ground and then possibly get a replay so you get best of both worlds. But if someone's taking the replay away from you, then we should just do that. But they had to do something about the fixture condition, to be fair.
Yeah, definitely.
I think they definitely needed to. I think what made it a bit crazy is not consulting the EFL. I think that's where the big drama was. Like, you lot just made this decision. It's like when you're at the playground and it hits 12:30 now and the big, hey, get off the pitch.
Yeah.
That's what they did. They basically bullied them out and said, this is what's happening.
Typical, these are the kind of things where I think the government feel like the regulator will just deal with and consult everyone properly, all that kind of rubbish.
Yeah, you say that, but like the Premier League and the EFL have been trying to thrash out a deal for like the last 2 years and they haven't been able to, so.
Yeah, no, exactly. Interesting. Well, listen, as always, firstly, Gabs, thanks for coming in.
Yeah,
it was a pleasure.
Thank you, man.
First Man United fan to show their face here during the turmoil. So thank you. We'll have you back on very soon. Everyone, thanks for listening. As always, please remember to like on whatever platform you're listening to this on, subscribe and share. And we'll see you next week. Peace.